video, even though we're live, like we're live right now, so don't swear. So even though we're live right now, this is the show, but it's not technically the show because the show technically is an audio podcast. So we cater to the audio listeners. So I'm going to start the show. I have music, I have a soundboard here, and all that. So hey, everybody watching, how you doing? We're back. It's Wednesday. Just about 8:30. We're going to start showing about 1 minute. Just so you guys know, we have got Lorriebird here. We got NPGlenn. It's the Cash Across America show tonight. If you don't know what it is, you're going to learn what it is. It's pretty cool. Jesse and I are going to jump on that bandwagon. So you got any questions about it, you give us a call, 808-468-7924. It is 808-GOT-SWAG. And here we go. Chad, you ready?
Yep.
Jess, you ready to go?
I'm ready, but fair warning, the cameras are on, and guess who's?
Of course they are. Of course they are. All right, I am muting Lori, and I am muting NPGlenn. All right, here we go, guys.
Myself.
Yeah, all right, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
You want to know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache. If you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30. Which means it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name's Scott Burks. We're joined by Short Idiots in the next room. Please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Jazz 427.
Howdy, y'all. Are you ready for your next Geo trip?
That's right, Chad. Tonight's episode 705, recorded live on February 16th, 2022, is the Cash Across America discussion. Guys, you're not going to believe this. I forgot to set the phone lines. The phone lines are not open, Jess. I forgot to call in. So no phone calls tonight. If that's okay. Nah, that's all right. You guys don't call in for these kind of shows anyway. So no phone calls tonight. But God, it gets so screwed up when we don't do our usual banter chat. So I'm going to go right to Patreon. Chad.
Yes, sir.
So I just got back from Key West, by the way. I woke up in 77 degrees. Oh. And now it's a blizzard. Or going to be a blizzard in Chicago. I just beat it. I beat the blizzard home, Chad.
Did you?
I did. Yeah. Oh,
awesome.
Still going. I beat the blizzard home. Chad.
Yes, sir.
So I had a good time in Key West. I took a lot of video. Me and Cody Dog went. Cody Dog, we had a good time. We had fun.
Awesome.
We had a good time in Key West. We also went to Miami. We went to South Beach, Chad. You ever been to South Beach?
Yes, when I was little.
There was no ugly people in South Beach. None.
So
men, women, beautiful.
2 counties?
Oh, I didn't even look at counties. Oh, I didn't even think about it. I know Jesse's going to be checking in about 1 minute.
You're going to be losing the challenge here, Scott. Well, let's see. I just happen to have Project GC open.
I'm guessing 2 counties. Maybe more than 2, because probably 2. I bet you 2. In the meantime, Chad, let's talk about Patreon. Guys, it costs a lot of money to make this show work. I talk about this every week. There's 2 ways you can help out the show. You can make a one-time payment to us, available at paypal.me. That's PAYPAL.me/the Geocaching Podcast. You make that one-time donation, whether it be $5, $50, I don't care. Go straight to the bills. Doesn't matter. I don't even see it. Or, guys, you can become a patron. Chad, Patreon. Yes. Extra video, extra audio, only available to our Patreon members. Patreon-only shows, Chad. They get stickers, they get Pathex, they get coins. Maybe like a coin. I think we have 1 coin left. Because we had to give that coin to the woman in Denmark, the Geo Karen in Denmark. Very few left. So I think it might be 1 or 2. I haven't gone through it yet. But Chad, the patrons.
Yes.
I took video in Key West. I got that coming. It's gonna be fun. We had a good time. So, guys,
you had your Happy Valentine video out too, or your Valentine.
Did that come on? That did come on. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, it did.
You're right. So, guys, you want to help us out? You can go to Patreon. You go to patreon.com. The dogs are fighting. It must be live. Patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cache. Cache is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cache has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cache.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight, we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cash than do cash maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Looks like I'm taking Shorty Nuts'
Shorty
job
gotta
here.
go
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers with 6 issues a year. FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com. That's ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Me Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees, I can't talk, and custom designs for you or your geocaching group with adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL. If you have an idea for a shirt design and you can't find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And finally, by pattags.com for all your swag and pat tag needs. Visit our website to get creative help, to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pat tags. With over 43,000 tags to collect, pattags.com is everything you need to start your pat tag obsession. Visit them at pattags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And as always, Chad, you can find links to our sponsors on our website
or in our show notes.
Show notes, Chad. We got some emails. Before we get to the main topic, Chad, no news, but we got emails. Actually, we do have news. What? Hold on. I do have news. I'm totally lying to you. I am totally lying. I didn't get it, but it's in an email. Hold on. I got it. I think it's in an email. Give me a second. It is. Oh no, it's not. I had news.
Oh,
I had news. I'm going to give you this one. So I've got some emails. So, you ready? This is from Oh no, here it is. It's right here. I'm sorry. It is here. Lost Ken. Send me an email, chat. You know who Lost Ken is?
The name is very familiar.
Fair enough. That's good enough. I was just notified that I can place an adventure lab.
Ooh.
He says, "Yay!" But now what? We have an idea or two, like no answers under the snow, right? That's a good one. No answers under the snow, and non-sequential because nobody likes a sequential adventure lab. No one. Let me know if you have ideas. Chad, do you have any ideas for an adventure lab?
Where?
I don't know where it's from either.
Whatever is interesting in your area that doesn't already have an adventure lab.
I know. Take them, show them something.
Yeah, take them, show them something. A lot of people like to do murals. If you happen to have murals around, or even the graffiti murals.
Yep.
Those seem to be popular. If you have historic sites, historic tour. If a movie's been shot around you, there's all kinds of different.
All mine. You're taking all. I did the John Hughes tour. I did the Buffalo Grove Buffalo tour. Those fiberglass buffaloes.
Right.
These are all great ones. Yeah, it's stuff like that. To me, if I don't care how far I'm going to go as long as it's super cool. Then it won't bother. I'm also a guy, and people have actually thanked me in their logs for this. Is they're like it was 20 degrees out. We didn't even have to get out of our car. Thank you. I like when you could see it right from the freaking car. Like,
right.
You don't even have to get out. I'm that kind of adventure lab creator. I'm on don't get out the car adventure lab creator. That's what I am.
Awesome.
So those are our ideas. I shouldn't say my ideas. Chad, anything else?
I am. So he doesn't have any hides. I'm trying to find out where the heck he's from.
I can tell us where he's from.
Looks like his finds are primarily in Idaho, but he's got Pennsylvania and Ohio and Washington, and who knows where this gentleman is from.
Probably Idaho. I can look him up. I think he's a great
Idaho looks like a lot. He looks like he has a lot of Idaho in there.
All right, so Idaho's good.
Cornfields,
Cornfields. There you go.
corn huskers.
Well,
I could say that. I was raised in Indiana, and there's more than corn.
That's right.
In Indiana.
Indiana Beach is in the Indiana, kid.
That's right.
That's damn right. Next up, M Nerve says, "Hey, Jed, did you know this? This year's Ape event has been announced. Did you hear about
It
this?
has.
Did you hear about this?
No, I hadn't. I got a couple announcements regarding the late 20th anniversary and the Geo Woodstock,
Right.
but this looks like it's not at the same time, is it?
September 10th is the new date for the Ape event, Chad. September 10th. Originally slated to be held the same weekend as the 20th anniversary celebration and the same week as Geo Woodstock, the organizers felt they could not accommodate the number of attendees if it was held then. I agree. There's like, how you get 10,000 people through that tunnel? Seriously. How's that going to happen?
It'll happen.
Well, yeah, it would happen. It would be ugly.
Through
that tunnel?
So getting it through, the early ones getting through isn't a problem. The problem is the traffic through that tunnel going back, because it is completely blocking there, and you're literally in the middle of a 3-mile long tunnel.
Right.
And one of the ends, it doesn't even really open out for the light. It kind of curves around,
so you don't even get the light.
So you can't see your hand in front of your face without a light in there.
Right.
And then you got people's, I've been through there with a lot of traffic, and you got people's flashlights and stuff getting in your eyes. Yeah, that would be, I think it's a good decision, to be honest, now that I think about it.
A thumbs down. Yeah. What about parking? How about parking?
Ooh, parking. Yeah, because parking was getting, we're overflowing.
I know.
Even with a regular mega.
I know. Yeah.
So
the 3-year anniversary of the 20th anniversary might be the funniest thing said this show. Well done, Houston, Texas. Well done. Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, I think it's a good move as well. I think it's a smarter move. Yeah. Although I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be ticked, but what are you gonna do? Can't please everybody.
You'll get people who are going there who haven't done the Ape Cache. I would imagine that the vast majority have done it. More than welcome to go out there and go grab that Ape Cache during the event. So
yeah,
that's nothing against the mega, but that's the real prize,
right?
So
of course, yes, of course, the Ape Cache, yes. All right, Chad. Oh, Jesse, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, first, just in time, Jess. Tonight's show, guys, Cache Across America. If you don't know what it is, we're going to talk about it all night tonight. We've got 2 people on the show. First person up, I'm going to start with is NPGlenn. We all know NPGlenn. He's been on the show forever. NPGlenn, hello, sir.
Hello, Scott, and everybody else.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. We go from 30 degrees to 70 degrees every other day. Crazy weather.
It's the joy of living. Wait, you live in Virginia, right?
Right. Yeah,
so
it was in the 20s a day ago, 60s today, 70s tomorrow, then 30s again on Saturday.
Yeah.
Here too.
God bless.
We've been 60s and 70s for the past, and I almost hit 80 last week for the past 2 weeks straight.
So bad.
So Glenn, you have finished the Cache Across America, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Only
So
took
Glenn
me
is
8 years.
Glenn is it took him 8 years. Glenn is a finisher of this. Our next guest up is Lorriebird. Hello, Lori. How are you? Hello.
Hey, I'm good.
Lori, are you one of the first finishers, if not the first? Or what?
I was number 6.
Number 6.
I was the 6th finisher.
How long did it took? It took Glenn 8 years. How long did it take you?
About 2.5 years. But I got pretty focused.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you do it? Did you do it by yourself? Partner, husband, friend?
It's I did a lot of it solo. I did some with friends. I did some seeing someone at the time. I did it just a little bit. big majority of it I did solo.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, so and Lori, you're the sixth finder. Wait, Glenn, what number are you? Just out of curiosity, do you know what? Number?
31.
Oh, number 31. Do we know how many people have finished this completely as of?
Yes, we have
today?
43. There are 43 finishers to date.
Only 43.
Only 43 in almost 16 years.
43.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're going to explain why there's only 43 in a minute. So, Lori, why don't you explain to us, what do you do? What is your position with Cash Across America?
Actually, Cash Across America is my baby now. Just a little bit of background history. I did not create Cash Across America. The idea was the brainchild of the cashier Blue Power Ranger. And I've never met them in person. They're very nice, husband and wife family team. They came up with this idea back in 2006 to have a particular cache in each state that you had to find and get clues from each one of those caches and compile all the clues and find out where the final is, which is hidden in Washington, D.C. That's the very simple answer. And in 2006, that was way before all the social media. I believe they did it via like a Yahoo chat room. And they basically just kind of threw it out there to the wind and said, we're going to start this series and we need a cache owner in each of the 50 states to volunteer to hide a cache and call it Cache Across America X Vermont or whatever state that you're in. It was very just kind of loose, just on a voluntary basis. And I think it evolved from there. Like I said, there's one cache was hidden in each of the 50 states. The final was hidden somewhere in Washington, D.C. And that's where it began. And they even at the beginning created, they had minted just a handful of coins, like 6 or 8 or 10 coins to give out to the first finishers of the series. And the Blue Power Ranger, they managed the series that they created for the first 4, 5, 6 years. And then over time, as you know, what happens in the game is sometimes life gets in the way and geocaching kind of goes to a back burner. But over time, Blue Power Rangers, they decided that it was just too much to take care of anymore. It's quite labor intensive. And so they asked me if I would be willing to take on the challenge. On each of the 50 state caches, there are links, to the entire list. There are links to the final. There are links to state information about a given state. And so that creates that it takes a lot of time to maintain that sort of thing. And then of course we can get into later what happens when an owner disappears or a cache disappears, or what do you do then with a game piece. But so after about 5 or 6 years, they just decided that it was too much to handle to take care of anymore. And so they offered it to me and asked if I'd be willing to kind of put it all back together and do some maintenance and kind of regroup and reorganize and keep it going in the years to come. So that's what I did. And I took it over in 2012. I just realized today that I will have it for 10 years, actually.
Really?
2012, I took it. So that's the premise. That's the basic story.
And so you say it's your baby, you're in charge of it. I can't imagine you maintain all the caches.
Well, no, you can't do that. The states are the states are owned by individual cachers from a given state. In fact, NPGlenn. So Glenn is our latest new owner, and he now owns Cache Across America, Virginia. So each state has its own owner, and each state's owner is responsible for maintaining that cache, just like any other cache that they own. But there is a lot of work involved in that. Sometimes, if the cache is not maintained or the cache disappears, or the worst problem of all is when an owner disappears or goes AWOL and doesn't bother to adopt the cache back to me, or another responsible owner, and the game piece disappears. So there's quite a lot of coordination to do, broken links to fix, and that kind of thing. Wow. And then, of course, maintaining the final cache page. We keep a wall of fame there on the cache page.
Yes. I just linked in the chat room the Cash Across America account is what I just.
Yes, Cash Across America is actually me. The profile, but if you click on it, click
on it.
on the profile, it will tell you kind of who the players are. It's got a link to Blue Power Rangers, and it lists.
Yes, that's why I did. Yes.
Yeah, that they were the creator. A few years ago, a dear friend of mine, Z Steve, he also kind of joined the team, and he does a lot of work. He does a lot of monitoring of the 50 states, and he lets me know when one has disappeared or it's got trouble or needs maintenance or the code's disappeared or something. So I got to give props to Z Steve, because he takes a lot of the load off. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to maintain. So I want to make sure that, he gets acknowledged as well.
Okay. So what is his name? Steve.
Z Steve.
Z Steve. Okay.
Z Steve. Mm-hmm.
Glenn.
Yes.
So how did you come about this? How did you find it? Why did it take you 8 years when it only took Lori 2?
Well, it all happened by accident. I was in California visiting a friend, and I was early, so I said, well, I wonder what caches are close by, and I saw this Cash Across America cache. I said, wow, that sounds interesting. So I went and found it, and then I realized, oh, there's 50 of these I got to find to finish this challenge. And it's like any other challenge. Sometimes you'll see, oh, the one in Wyoming is where I was just there a month ago, or I was somewhere else, last year.
Right.
So a lot of backtracking to get caches that you were near and didn't even know about, So, and then it just, you got to plan. I was working, and you got to plan. Plan trips. Well, we can go by this state and see where it is, and I finished 48, and then my last 2 were Alaska and Hawaii. So a couple years ago, we decided, okay, we spent a week we flew from Richmond to Anchorage, spent a week, flew from Anchorage to Honolulu, spent a week, and then came home. So I finished it up. So it takes time.
Come on, what? What?
It takes time to figure out where they are and plan a trip that goes by it.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And you get addicted too. A dear friend of mine promised he was not going to be doing it. He said, that's just too much. I'm not going to do it. Maybe when I'm retired, I'll do it. And one day I got a text from him. He said he just found Cash Across America, Washington, and he was headed to Montana now by way of Nevada.
Yep.
That's
how geocachers travel, though,
That's
right?
how you travel.
Exactly.
What once took us 17 hours to go, from Chicago to West Virginia? It took us 17 hours.
Right. It's normally like a 8-hour drive.
Took us 17 hours. Yeah, that's how it works. So Glenn, Glenn, it took you 8 years. You were focused 8 years. Okay, so that's like so you basically just built it around vacations. You didn't make how much of an effort was it for you? Like, obviously it was I
kept track of it all the time, and I always knew where they were, and if we were going somewhere, I said, well, we should go this way, and do it. And it's just, some of them are, like Montana. That's a big state. It takes a lot. It takes 8 hours to drive across it. So, and then some of the caches are in populated areas. Some are out in the middle of nowhere. So it takes time and effort to go get some of them. And then you got. I have to show you. Some of them are just regular caches. And when I was offered Virginia, I wanted it to be something that was. It showed our state. Wanted to be in a good place, not just out in LPC somewhere. So a good friend of mine, she's an artist here. Actually, she was on the cover of FTF magazine not too long ago with all the painted rocks. Remember that?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
So her name is Rebecca. So I got her to paint up my ammo can for me because I wanted it to be, significant. So this is the Cash Across America, Virginia. I got it. I put another ammo can out
in the woods.
Mine is on an island in the James River, which is a lot of hiking, a lot of caching. So, but I put another ammo can out there so I could bring this one home. And so
okay, oh my God, you can't just take it.
This is my Cash Across America ammo can. Let's see.
Oh, let me put you on the big screen for the For the suckers
way.
who are
That's one
actually
side of
watching
it.
it and listening to it at work. Hold on.
Yeah, this is all hand painted, by the way. There's
Oh,
the other
wow.
side.
Wow.
Wow.
And then here's the other side.
Oh, wow.
And it
Very
says,
nice.
Cash Across America.
Very
And
nice.
GC number there.
I can't even explain this to you people who are listening to this, so I apologize. Basically, but if you want to see it, I don't know what minute are we on here on the show. I don't even know. 25 minutes in.
25.
25 on the YouTube if you want to see a picture of the ammo can. Sorry, Glenn. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, that's pretty spectacular. It really is.
I was very happy with that. We had a Christmas event and she presented it to me. I was so excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so Lori, back to you for a second. So is it obviously in the beginning it couldn't have been previous finders who are now owners, but now is it finders who are owners? If something something gets archived, do you look to a finder, or is it just somebody in Illinois for
Well, when I inherited the series in 2012, I just kind of inherited it as it was. A lot of the caches were not really in great places. The premise, the owner who volunteered was supposed to select a location that they felt best represented their state. It's like, Glenn did an awesome job with his. It was a good news, bad news. It was great to inherit the series, but there were also a lot of them out there that were not in the best of places, or the cache had not been had much care taken over the past years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really getting to your answer. I really am.
I know you are.
So over time, when they I'm sorry?
You're a cashier. You take the long way. It's all right.
Yeah, of course. But only on the way in. On the way out, it's always shorter. So as they're archived and we have to make the decision, do we try to keep it going? Do we keep trying to contact the owner? Do we just, start the archival process? And I literally start asking around. I start asking, I need a good responsible owner who's willing to take on the new Cache Across America, Virginia. We'd had a little bit of trouble keeping Virginia up and running. And so over time, finishers also are great resources when maybe I don't know anyone in North Dakota who would be a good new owner.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we don't have to archive them and replace them very often. We actually have quite a few that are still the original 2006 caches that are still out and about.
Yeah, that was a question in the chat room, is how many of the original 50 are still active?
I can count them. I've got them on a list. I can give them the count there, but there are quite a few. I'll see if I can get that number for you.
And is there a bookmark list available of all the caches?
Yes. So on each individual state cache, there's a live bookmark that will link to the master list, which is one I keep. A master list of all of the individual state caches that are current. And then there's also a link to the final cache page. Now we do still have a couple of the old original 2006s where we've never been able to get a hold of the owner to be able to update the link. So you still may find one here and there where the link is still broken, but we think we've gotten most of them all fixed now. It takes years to fix this stuff because it's tough to get. It's tough to sometimes to get people to respond. Sometimes the people just kind of go away and we can't find them anymore. For the owners.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a tough situation if one goes missing. Then my email inbox will blow up and say, hey, I don't know which one's missing. I don't think any of them are missing right now, but we'll use Virginia as an example. Virginia will be missing. My inbox will blow up, and all I can do is just try to contact the owner.
Right.
When we offer a new Cache Across America state to someone, we just say, just please, whatever. If you ever get tired of maintaining this cache, just give it back to me, and we'll find someone else who can take care of it. But you'd be amazed at how many people just disappear, and we have to start the archival process, which takes at least a month or more.
Sure.
And in the meantime, the game piece is kind of out of commission, and it makes it tough on everybody. And that's where a lot of the maintenance comes in, and kind of the time commitment. And then you have to kind of walk that fine line if someone's not maintaining the cache anymore, and trying to get them motivated, or ask them to give it up, and it's kind of tough. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest part, is when an owner stops taking care of the cash and stops responding to emails or maintenance requests.
I was going to tell you, I got a message from somebody that had planned their trip going from up north down south to get Cash Across Americas, and the one in Virginia was 200 and almost 300 miles from where I am. So they had their trip planned around there. When the new one came out, it came out before they did their trip, about a week before they got their trip. So they were able to not have to go 300 miles out there, no cash there, so they were able to.
I was going to say, have you DNF'd a cache? Have either of you DNF'd one of them?
I did.
Oh, that's miserable.
The old original Oregon, the old original Cash Across America Oregon went missing while I was in the middle of my trip. I flew out to Washington and rented a car and just did this huge 4,000-mile loop, and Oregon was missing. That was pretty tough. Yeah.
But you didn't know. But what did you know it was gone, or did you?
No, not until I arrived.
So you're the one who DNF'd it and went, oh.
Yeah, but being as it turns out, what had happened is the owner had moved the cache and not updated the coordinates on the cache page. So yeah, that's what happened with that one. Yeah, that one's long gone. That one's long been replaced. We got an awesome owner for Oregon now. So yeah, it happens. It happens, especially if you've made your trip and doing a cross country road trip. It does happen sometimes, and but
that's
what
the scariest part, is that you plan a trip around one cache and it's not there.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, we're kind of at the mercy of the cache owners to take care of it just like any other cache that they own. So yeah, it can be tough sometimes, but it doesn't happen very often.
Wow. Yeah, that would be kind of mean. Yeah. Chad, anything to add, Chad?
I was just looking through here and even some of the old archived ones, and the original one in Indiana, about 2 miles from my brother's house.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the current one is actually in the same place as the old one. Is that the one are you talking about?
No, that's up in Warsaw, which is up north.
Okay.
So there's two that had been placed up in Warsaw, the most recent two at the, I cannot pronounce that county's name, visitor center. And, but the other one was south of Indianapolis, which is, down 37. Yeah, and that's, like I said, I was just kind of glancing through there, and it's like, wow, because it's like I wanted to see how close I've been to some of these, because there's a bunch that I've been pretty close to. And
I can't imagine that you just look past.
I know you guys like,
and I found zero.
When you finish, you get this geo coin.
Yeah, what do you get when you finish?
Yeah.
Let me throw you on the big screen there. Hold on. Again, I apologize for the listeners.
You have to show both sides of that. I'm pretty proud of that.
So this is it says America Finisher.
Cash Across America.
I'm sorry, I can't see the Cash Across.
And then the other side.
The other one is a United States. I'm looking at it. Oh, wow.
50,
Explain it. Read it.
It says 50 states, one amazing journey. Then it tells you to track your adventure at geocache.com with a tracking number. It's trackable.
So you only get that if you finish.
And you get,
and you also get a patch. Other side.
There you go. Other side.
There you go.
There you go.
And
that's only got one side.
There's a little bit of a story behind those coins.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of a story. First of all, Glenn is the person who designed and produced and offered those patches to people. We send 2 patches to each finisher, and that is a gift that Glenn did for us, which is a wonderful thing. That coin, I think I mentioned earlier that Blue Power Ranger, they initially had 8 or 10 coins made for the first few finders. Well, I decided I wanted to renew that, and I wanted a coin that was you could only get through finishing Cash Across America. So I took the coin, and the back of that coin is what the old coin looked like, and then the front of the coin I designed the front of the coin. So I wanted to pay, kind of honor the original coin. And that's the one with the route map on the United States on the back of the coin that he showed. And on the front, I just drew that out and found someone who could make it for me. And actually bought, what, I don't know what you call it. What do you call the thing that not like the molds, but anyway, the design. So they can never like reproduce them and sell them retail. So I have all of them. They're all in a box in my closet.
Oh, real? Wow.
Yeah. And Z Steve and I together funded having those coins made. And so that's the only way you can get one is finishing Cash Across America.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So almost literally, what, 36 people have the coin? That's it?
Yeah, 43 now.
40, excuse me.
Yeah, and the first handful of people actually have one of the old original ones that were created by Blue Power Ranger.
Oh, wow. Did you give them a new one as well, or just the original?
The Blue Power Ranger?
No, the people who
The
won
original
Like
finders.
the first 6 or 8, or
Right.
Did you give them the new one too?
Oh yes, we made sure they all had the new one as well.
Yeah. A
Awesome.
question to share. Is there any way to tell the fastest time for completing the series?
Yes. What was his name? He did it in less than a year.
Less than a year.
Wow.
Almost
Less than
been
a year. Shoot. I'll have to go
Super
back.
rich.
It was it was a solo gentleman. I have to go back and look at the page, but he did it in less than a year.
wow.
Yeah. I have to go back and look at the finders list.
Less than a year. Was money no object? That's insane.
That'd be
I
tough.
don't know.
He could have been living out of an RV.
Yeah, he must.
you
He
know,
must.
yeah.
Must have been. That must. Be. Yeah.
And I have to look him up. I don't think he even cashes anymore.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
So,
You burn him out.
Yeah. All,
Right.
all right there is what that. What else is there to do? You've done it like.
you can see if you go on the final page, the Cash Across America final cash page, created a wall of fame on there. So there's actually a photo of all the finishers in order of all the Cash Across America finishers are all listed on the wall of fame on the final page. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing too. So I'm pretty proud of that.
So I have to ask the question, and this might be borderline insulting, and I apologize. Are there any park and grabs out there? Are any of them a park and grab? A lamp skirt? Are any of them a lamp skirt?
No, there are no lamp skirts because
Thank God.
this was 2006 when most of them started. I believe Washington is still in a guardrail.
It's in a
think-
guardrail.
I think Washington is still in a guardrail, but the reason it's there is because the view there is spectacular, and so that was the reason I put it there. But I think Washington is still a guardrail, and some of them, the places wouldn't be my first choice, but over the years, as they get archived and replaced, our new placements are all really great. So we're still it's a continuing process. So probably never be finished.
All right,
I did find one in Oklahoma. That's the only one that I found it because it was literally at the on ramp at the of the interstate, and it was just like an
It's
offense
just there.
or something. It's just there, but it was perfect. Perfect for someone traveling down the interstate. And that was when I went out west over Christmas break. I looked at the map and I had a bunch of them planned out that were within like 10 to 20 miles of the trip. And then of course things happen. We're behind schedule. Some things have to give so that others can happen. And it wasn't really even a geocaching trip. So that was the only one that I ended up getting, even though I had about 5 or 6 on my list. So
No, I believe that one is an original.
It is.
And that's an example of one that wouldn't be the best representative of the state for a placement, but that's how kind of it was created back in 2006. And so over time, some of the placements get put in better places.
well, it's nice that it's a variety too as you're going. They're not all long hikes, but they're not all park and grabs. So you kind of get a little
There's a
everything.
little bit of
I don't know
everything
if
for sure.
I don't know if you can see this picture of Idaho, but it is out
Hold on,
in
let's see the
wild Idaho.
Hold on, let me put you on the main screen. Hold on a second. Let me get you up there. Hold on. Oh, that's me. Sorry.
There you
Hold on a second. That's me. Hold on.
Wild
There
Idaho.
we go. All right, there we go.
See,
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's way out in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful country.
Mhm.
Those are deep valleys there, Of course, you have
Right.
to watch out for the creepy crawlers too. But, so you see a lot of pretty parts of the United States
Mhm.
when you do that.
All right, so these aren't parking grabs. These are get out and hike it up. You gotta.
Right.
Are any of them like super? I'm assuming Colorado and Montana's got to be a monster hike.
Montana is probably the most difficult one. That it's that one's got a love-hate relationship. Everybody talks about how difficult it is because you do have to scramble up a pretty slippery ski slope a little bit to get to it. But then after it's over, it's funny in the find logs, they always mention Montana as a favorite. And there's only one multi, and that's in Florida.
Really, Florida's a multi.
Yeah. Connecticut, I think, is listed as a multi, but it's not a multi. I think it's Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map.
Here's a-
Connecticut.
here's a
I
good
wouldn't even
view of
think of it to be a
Montana.
multi. I guess it could be
Let's see
anything, right? I
Montana.
guess.
Wait, and
Wait, hold on, Glenn.
Look at the
Oh, look at
background
that,
of
yeah.
Montana.
What
Can
was
you
it?
see
so-
behind him?
See?
Oh my goodness, those
That's
mountains.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
so Glenn, do you have your picture and the cache on every page in the map then and marked where it is? Is that
You know he does.
I have
That's-
this book,
that
right?
is-
This notebook. I have every one I
that's
ever went to.
amazing. That is
I keep
that's
the- I
amazing.
keep the whole thing.
She's like writing that down.
Wow.
It's now on my list.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
why-
I mean, I did that on our holiday trip. I had the atlas and we drew on the
Yes, you do.
map where we went and
yeah, I
where
have,
we
everyone's got the map and it shows where it was on the map. You know,
Mhm.
That's
Oh, nice.
and then
awesome.
on the other side is the cache page. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's
I
hard to
printed
forget
out-
them that way. After you find so many, they all kind of blur together. So
And
I
that,
think that's
ladies and
great.
gentlemen, is why I knew he would be a perfect new owner when Virginia came available.
mhm. So they're all traditionals except for a couple multis and Delaware is a letterbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
Delaware is pretty new, and he decided to make it a letterbox, which is perfectly fine. Just we don't have any, just no puzzles.
Could you make it a virtual? Could you do that?
No, because there's a code. There's a
Oh.
code in each one that you can
Ah.
collect, and you have to collect the code for all 50 and plug them into a mathematical equation to come up with the final chords in DC.
Oh, look at you, sneaky. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, and this is you're gonna say yes, but I'm asking anyway. I'm assuming if you find Illinois and then 6 months later Illinois goes archived and a new one comes up, you don't got to find that new one. It's the same code.
No,
That's the same
absolutely not. In fact, I think on the list now, they're on the list of all times past and present on the main link there for my bookmark list. I think there are 80 something caches on there now. The ones that have been replaced over the years. So
Yeah.
we do have
There's
some people though
83
that
on
go
there.
back and find the new ones just so they found all
wow.
of them.
Oh, really? Wow.
We do have some people that have found the new ones, but
Wow.
once you get the code, once you find any cache across America state, you have the code, you're good to go. And when we replace one, we keep the code the same.
Jess, did you grab the code, Jess?
No, because I knew I'd have to go back there with you anyway. And it was late at night and it was dark and
Like,
I
I'll be
couldn't see
back.
anything. And I did take a picture.
You know how many times I've gone to caches where I knew darn well ahead of time I needed to grab the code on
Yeah.
in every
Oh.
single one, and forgotten and had to go back and get the code so that I could solve a final puzzle. Oh,
hmm
Yeah, everybody's
Oh,
done
yes.
it.
yep.
Definitely.
That is pretty amazing. Go ahead, Jess, please.
I was just going to ask if all of the finders are from the U.S.
Oh, good question.
Yes, actually, all the finders are from the U.S. except for one who has now moved to New Zealand, but he was from the U.S. when he was here, but he lives in New Zealand now.
Do you know any non-U.S. people working on it? Do you know people working on it? If people are working on it, are you aware of that?
You can tell, you can, and again, that's something that Z Steve is very good about. He actually has all 50 of them on a watch list, and he lets me know when someone's getting close to finishing. So I'll be prepared. There's some things that need to happen when someone finishes the series. So he usually lets me know when somebody's getting close. And we can also tell sometimes, if there's a problem with one of them, I'll get notified right away. My email inbox will pretty much blow up. So
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm kind of glancing through here, and lots of them have hundreds of fines, like
Mhm.
600-700 fines.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, but well, I mean, this doesn't mean they're going for the series unless you.
I know, but some of these, I mean, these are out of the way caches.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you're
with
right. Yeah,
with,
it's not like it's along the
700
trail.
fines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that
good point. Yeah,
Well,
like
if you think about it, it's kind of the original challenge cache.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Created in 2006. Now we have challenges, and that's kind of reinvigorated a lot of cachers that are kind of looking for something new and exciting to do. And Cache Across America is kind of the old original challenge before we had challenges.
Right.
I've been caching since 2008. I have. I mean, over 20,000 fines. It's my life. I do a podcast for it for 12 years. I have never heard of it. It's gotten by me.
Wow.
Like,
I
never
can't
heard of
believe
it.
that, Scott,
I
because
had
I've had
heard
this
of-
final on my watch list for years.
and we're married and we've never talked about it. Watch this. Like, yeah, she's never
We
much
pay
like,
attention to different parts of the game, clearly.
come on.
I
Like,
always wear my vest at events, and I get a lot of questions about it. And I think it gets a lot of people interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's why as soon as I heard about it, I said, I got to get this. I got to get these people on the show and to talk about it, and get it more traction. And just, I mean, now you lit a fire under Jesse and I. I mean, Jesse and I love to go and cache in other states and across America. And this is the new one now. I think this is our new, we got to revisit.
Illinois is down by Springfield, so you can go get that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Who owns Illinois? Do we know who owns Illinois, Jess?
I can tell you.
Lorriebird on the spot. Who owns Illinois? Come on, for Jesse. Come on.
I'd have to click off of this and go over to someplace else.
What does Jesse will tell us?
I think she's got the master list up.
I do.
Wes and
Wes
Tara.
and Tara.
Wes and Tara. I don't know Wes and Tara.
And Arden Twee.
Arden Twee. I don't know who that is. They're not from our area, so we don't know them.
Nope. It's in the woods.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
There is a question in the chat room. Which one is the most favorited? Or maybe by percentage of favorites. Let's see.
Yeah, percentage is good. I wonder if you could scroll through that list.
I can sort by favorite percentage. I love Cashly. Plug for our sponsor here. Okay, the most.
Montana's got to be one. I mean, other than the final, the percentage of the final is it was 100% for a while.
Who wouldn't give it a favorite point?
Who didn't favorite the final?
Well, I think what happened is when some old there's some. Well,
some people like me forget about doing it.
Well, this was created before favorite points were out.
So the original finders.
And there's no nice way to say this, but sadly, some of our finders are no longer with us.
Right.
Yeah.
And
after they found it, you can't go back and be like, dude.
Right. So this happened, as a lot of old classic caches kind of get cheated a little bit out of favorite percentages because we don't go back, and I'm guilty.
Right.
I'm not going back and put favorite points on great old caches.
Right.
So,
all right,
so did you find? Is it Montana?
No. So percentage wise, and I'll only read the active ones. The top percentage wise most favorited: Georgia, Arizona, Louisiana, Alabama, Kansas, top 5. But then if we sort by number of favorites, those are all archived. Wisconsin. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. Only has 4. I'm definitely going the wrong way. Let's try this.
Missouri is the top one.
Yeah, Missouri is the top one. So Missouri, Michigan, Alabama. Maybe I was doing the other one the wrong way too.
It was because now the
that was the lowest.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. That makes more sense now that I think about it. Missouri, Michigan, Alabama, Kentucky, Hawaii, Arizona, Indiana. All right, let's go back to percentage and
North
actually
Carolina
go descending
and
this time.
Montana has looks like a 40%. I'm not looking at the percentage, but just
I can tell you why most of those have high percentage favorites. Missouri is Walt Disney's birthplace.
Oh,
okay.
And let's see what
Delaware,
a gorgeous place in the desert. Kentucky is at the Corvette Museum. What were some of the states that you mentioned?
See how many times we've driven by the Corvette Museum.
Oh yeah. Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why it
And
took me 8 years.
Wisconsin, the old Wisconsin was very, very popular because it was at the stadium there, the Vince Lombardi statue.
Lambeau Field.
Embo.
At Lambeau
Yes, thank
Field.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go
Yeah.
there. I'm not allowed to go.
It's not there anymore. Unfortunately, it had to be moved, so it's not there anymore. But that was a perennial favorite.
And what about you and Glenn? What are your two favorites?
For me, well, Missouri stands out because it was my 50th one. It was my last one. But I think the trail, the Aiea Loop Trail in Hawaii was a favorite, and Montana was a favorite because I like hard hikes. So those are the ones that off the top of my head. How about you, Glenn?
Glenn?
I like the ones like in Idaho, Montana, where you out hiking in the wild. It's not right in the city. A lot of good views, but no crowds. Just you and somebody else with you. That's it. But you're talking about going by places. Oh, I've been there before. Well, if you ever go to get Cache Across America in Hawaii, it's right next to Hawaii's oldest cache, and I forgot to get it.
Oh,
Oh no!
I got to go back.
It's a common story. They're so excited about one or the other. Or to go
I was so excited because that was number 50 for me. So I was excited. Then I forgot about the other one.
that's amazing. I am putting right now into the chat room. I'm linking Lori, if that's okay. I'm linking your YouTube video. Is that okay?
Oh, sure.
Oh
So guys,
yeah.
what I'm putting onto the chat room right now is don't watch it now, watch it later. Is Lori's video. She took like a 10-minute video of all the places she visited, of all the places, right, of all the caches you went to, correct?
The Cache Across America, every Cache Across America.
Really
cache
nice.
is there.
Jesse and I watched it. It's actually really nice, guys. Give it a watch. It'll fire you up to do this.
Mhm.
Really nice.
It's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
So have you both gone back and done others? Are you either of you those kind of guys who actually go back, or gals, excuse me, Lori?
I have not.
Go back and go get the other.
Please.
Go get the new ones.
I've not made a way out of my way trip to go pick up a new one. But I have picked up Cache Across America caches that have been replaced. That were where the original was archived and the new ones are out now. I have picked up a few of the new ones, but I don't I don't go out of my way to find them. I've picked up Kentucky. I've picked up a few of the newer ones.
What about you, Glenn?
No, I haven't
Nope.
gone back. I
Yeah, I'm
do like
done.
everybody else does. So you drive by and say, "Hey, there's a Cache Across America there." Every time you drive by, oh, there's a cache over there.
If I'm reasonably near someplace, you bet I will. It's hard to. It gets in your blood. You get addicted to it. It's like, oh, there's a Cache Across America there. It doesn't matter. You finished it. You don't need it anymore. But there's one. You have to have it.
Mhm.
Right. Right. No, it's pretty spectacular. Again, I don't know how it's gotten by me. It really kind of. Chad, did you hear about it at all? Did you?
I
Let's
had
hear
known
about
I had known about it. I think a big guy in Texas told me about it, and she's actually when I was looking through the list, I saw her in there as one of the cache owner for Texas.
She owns Texas.
Yeah, she owns Texas there in Round Rock, which is by Austin. But she had told me about it, but that was early in my caching career, and there was so much interesting and great stuff to do that it just, it kind of filtered to the background, because I knew at the time, it's like, there's no way I'm doing this until I retire. That's
That's
just
what I said too.
right.
The series is not something that you complete by accident. I mean, it has to
Right,
be
yeah,
intentional that
definitely.
you're going out to get most of them, all of them.
Yeah, it's. you have to work towards it. It's something.
It takes time, and I don't want to know how much money I spent trying to get to all those things. But
I can't even Yeah.
one little interesting tidbit is that a large percentage of finishers are retirees who live in Florida for some reason.
Really?
We have a lot of Florida retirees that have finished from the finishers group.
That's a weird stat.
Yeah, it is, but it was. I just noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess yeah. I mean, yeah. If you need that kind of, I guess. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. I mean, 50 states. And it's
So
not.
you want to get out of Florida during the summer, so you travel
Right.
across the rest of the U.S.
But it's even like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, just as an example, Illinois. It's in Springfield. Most people who come to Illinois, they don't go to Springfield. They go to Chicago.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
and it's a from Chicago. Springfield's a good what 3-hour drive, Jess.
Yeah, about that.
That's
3,
one
3 and a
way. That's a 6-hour round trip drive. Like
half. Mhm.
drive. That's a
You did it for snag
Mhm.
attack.
I did an hour for a snag attack, not 3 hours. So
It's
yeah,
like,
so
a lot of people just want to go to all 50 states in their
right,
lifetime.
yeah, right.
Mhm.
And this is give you something else to go along with it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
but you got to work it because it's not just like
do.
when I go to Chicago, I'll go get it. Well,
You got to want to do it.
That's your day. You got to want to do it. Yeah, it's like got to be in your like you
Mhm.
say, Laurie. It's in your blood. You got to get I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be done.
It's also pretty cool that the finishers are kind of like a little community now. We have a little Facebook page, and we've
Right.
actually organized a couple of reunions. It's you kind of sort of keep in contact, and it's just kind of like a little family. Family's getting a little bigger now, but
40 people. It's not big.
they're real supportive, and when you finish, all the prior finishers, send you, emails and congrats, and it's kind of the community of finishers is kind of a cool thing too.
Yeah, it's like a little fraternity.
Yeah.
People belong to. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Lori, you've been awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
That is pretty impressive that you could maintain this. And so, just out of curiosity, hours a week that go into this. Is it like runs by itself, or do you? It's like a part-time job?
It runs by itself until it doesn't. Where we run into trouble is when one disappears. Or one needs maintenance, or one gets muggled or disappears, and I can't get in touch with a CO. That's where it really gets to be a problem, because then I'm fielding emails, and poor people are out there, on road trips, and want to be missing. It runs itself until a cache disappears and the CO is not responding and not active.
Okay.
And that's when it really gets difficult. And sometimes some tough decisions are made, and but it's really hard when a game piece is kind of AWOL for a while, and it takes more than a month just to get one archived and find someone new and a new place and republish one. So I guess, yes, it runs itself until it doesn't. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Mhm.
And good question in the chat room: are all the caches premium, or are they open to regular cachers?
Most of them are regulars. I think only, I don't know. Do we have are any of them premium, Glenn? Do you remember?
I made mine premium just so my ammo can wouldn't get muggled.
Yeah, and Delaware might be premium. A couple of the newer ones may be premium, but for the most part, I think they're all available to all. And again, that's the prerogative of the CO. They choose their location that they feel best represents. And I think most of them are regular, but there might be 1 or 2 premiums out there.
Fair enough. For anybody listening to the show, not watching tonight, I do have a GC. Jesse, is this the GC you put in the chat room here?
Yeah, so here's the GC to the final.
Thank you. Hold on. That's for the audios. It's GC12E08. Again, GC12E08.
And then this is the bookmark list of all past and present Cache Across America.
The bookmark
caches.
is BM2 cord.info/BM21 G as in George, B as in boy, Paul, P as in Paul. That's BM21GBP.
And hopefully any Cache Across America cache page that you open up will have that link to those bookmarks as well.
Yes.
No, that's what's the master list, and I keep that one updated myself.
I think there's a couple that are linked to the Blue Power Ranger.
There's a couple of the old original ones where we've never been able to get a hold of the owners, And until the cash disappears or goes away, that's the way it's got to live. Until I have no power to get in and switch that and fix that link. That is true.
So if you're finding a list that has some old or outdated information from the Blue Power Rangers in Alabama, that's the first one on the list. Click it. It's got a link to the right one.
Yeah, so most of them, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's tough to get those changed out because I have to get the CO to fix
Right.
those. And some of the original 2006s, we've never had any contact with the CO ever again. But as long as the cache is up and maintained, and those get maintained by the community pretty well.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
That's the best we could do.
Yeah. Oh, understandable.
Yeah.
All right. It is 9:30. Lori, thank you so much. Glenn.
Yes.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for asking me.
All right. No, hey, please.
It was a lot of fun. It's my first podcast ever.
Thank you for coming. See, it's easy. It's easy. It's a conversation. That's all it is. Lori, Glenn, thank you guys so much. You guys stick around, stay here. Don't leave yet, okay? Chad.
Yes, sir.
Next week is it. Guys, next week is the Chad show. It's all about Chad.
No, it's not.
It's all about Chad. It's the Chad show. It's the Chad show. Next week, guys, GeoGo. GeoGo is an Android-based geocaching. I own an iPhone. I don't know what GeoGo is. Chad does, though. Chad's an Android guy. GeoGo discussion with its owner, Ron. Chad.
Yes.
Have you used GeoGo in the wild?
I've used GeoGo in the wild, not extensively.
Don't spoiler alert it.
But I've used it in the wild, and yeah, I definitely got some questions, and we should have a good show. But I want you asking questions too. You're good at that.
I know.
You're good at driving the conversation along.
I'll drive it. I'm an iPhone user. I don't have an Android.
Right.
As long as she'll bring up your screen so I at least can see something. So
you want to see it?
Not want to see it now. I'm talking about next week. You share your screen so I can see what I'm looking at here. So, Chad, that's next week. GeoGo discussion with its owner, Ron. I don't know what his geocaching name is. I've never asked him. So that's it, Chad. That's next week. You okay with that? It's going to be the Chad show. All right, guys, hold on a second. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archive video versions of our podcast are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you'd like the show, please head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified button to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you'll get a ton of additional information, extra video, extra audio, only available to our Patreon members. Please head over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork, FTF Geocache Magazine, the Max Heads Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, and PathTags.com. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. So we'll see you next week. Talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we will talk to you guys next week. And we're clear. There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pair this when I retire. Pair this with the oldest caches in each state.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Jesse's got.
That's what I did. Yeah. Another plug for Cachly.
Another voice on there. There we go.
I have two offline lists on Cachly. One is all of the state's oldest, and one is all of the Cache Across Americas. And I have each group color coded differently, so that anywhere I am, if I see something of either one of those two colors, I know, hey, I better look at that. That's something. And then I actually created one list of both of them together, so I can see where they are in relation to each other in the state and where we'll be. We have some trips planned this year, so We
The
may
color
end up
coding
grabbing a
has
few.
helped. We've been in the middle of nowhere, and Jesse's like, "This is color coded." Remember, like, where were we?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. We were driving by a park somewhere and I saw something and I was like, "Hey, wait, there I got something highlighted right here." And it turned out to be like an old one from 2002
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
2002 cash.
So,
Like, we're like,
like-
go get it. That was less than 10 minutes it took us. Yeah.
Right. Yep. So thank you, Cashly.
Yeah. Thank
Great
you,
feature.
Ashley. What
I'm working on the state's oldest as well.
are you?
Yeah, I think I have like 8 left.
Oh, my
Nice.
Sweet.
Lord.
Nice.
All right, let me get off. All right, let me end the broadcast. We're still technically live. So you guys know it's all right. Just don't swear and you're fine. All right, guys.
That's what we do.
You stay. Everybody, we'll talk to you guys next week. Be well and be safe, guys. No show on Saturday, so be well and be safe. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Bye-bye.